Right guys, welcome back. Can you join me on a Ford RS themed video today? So we've got this Mk1 Focus RS and it's been off the road for about 3 or 4 years now. It's in a bit of a bad way. It's had a lot of bodges over the years. It's got a bad exhaust manifold leak. It's got some inlet leaks. It's got a really bad misfire and lots of bodges that we're going to get rid of and just go back to scratch, try and get this thing back up to its previous glory. So I thought it'd be nice to film some videos while I was doing it. So if you haven't already, go and smash that subscribe button and you will see a few more episodes of this coming up in the future with all the repairs we've got to do to it. So let's get straight into this episode now. I don't know how far we're going to get with the car. We're just going to play it by ear, do the work, see what we come across. I know that we've got to get a few gaskets and other little bits for it. So going to get as much work done as we can. And obviously we're going to continue this in future episodes. So if you're looking forward to it, smash that like button. Right, so at first glance, you can see here the car's got a GT28 and a tubular exhaust manifold. Pretty much stock other than that. It's a nice upgrade. You can see it's got a hole in the boost pipe here. You can see it's a bad air leak. Took the car for a drive. It's got a terrible misfire at the minute. Really, really bad. Won't rev under load. Tons of little problems for it. Going to let you look around the engine bay now. So it's hard to hear at the minute, but there's an inlet leak down the back here somewhere as well. So we're going to get the inlet off. Go over everything, get the gaskets off, get that exhaust manifold off. Really bad blow you can hear at the minute. Tap the head, because at the minute there's some studs missing on the head. Studs missing on the exhaust manifold. So I'm going to pull the whole lot off, so let's get to pulling that off. So you can see down here on the intake side of things, it's a little bit of a mess. I'm not really sure what's going on with this boost control solenoid because it's going to the actuator like it's supposed to on one side. The other side's going to the recirc valve. You can see here. It's not taking any vacuum line for the inlet or anything, so that's totally wrong. Obviously the recirc is going back into the inlet. Everything's sort of undone. You can see it's like a proper bodge. Whoever's done it's kind of like an amateur, which, you know, expected, but get this all sorted out. There's no proper boost control going on at the minute anyway, so it's pretty much just unlimited boost at the minute, whatever the ECU wants to give it, which is quite weird. Never seen a setup like that before, and I just literally pulled that out, no problem. So that's a load of crap. Right, so you can see here that the actual turbo that the car is running is a GT28 setup. You can see there's kind of like boost leaks everywhere. When I just took off one of the hoses, it had obviously been touching the manifold. You can see there it's burnt through. So there's lots of little issues to sort out to get this running sweet again. Just needed a good going over, done properly. So we're going to just, for now, we're just going to splice into this boost hose because we ain't got a spare one. We've ordered one of them. And you can see, nice billet turbo in there. Lots of oil leaks, everything to sort out. Sort these vacuum hoses out. We've got a tubular manifold on there. As I say, it's got some bolts missing. The manifold's got some studs snapped, so the whole system's going to come off. Going to drill out the head. Get this car jacked up in here, get this turbo set up off. So excuse the noise in the background, but we're just under here at the minute, getting this turbo downpipe off. Just pulled out the lambda sense. You can see I've got this one bolt here. It's been quite difficult to get off. It's really stiff and it's in the way of the lambda sense, so I moved that. Just going to unbolt that downpipe from the exhaust and sort out any sort of oil leaks as well while the car's apart. Might as well. Any sort, we might even do a head gasket change on it. The car's not really been very well maintained over the years, so good idea to get everything done at the same time. Right, so as usual, things have been a little bit difficult. So this bolt that goes into the actual downpipe itself, you can see that one there, it's not coming undone, and I'm pretty sure it's going to snap. So I'm trying to find out an alternative way sort of get that off. The downpipe joins there, so you can sort of undo it there. And what I'm going to do is just remove it at the elbow. You've got plenty of bolts and that are bolting it to the elbow. I can get them, they're accessible, so unbolt them, get that elbow off and get the turbo up from the top. So diving deeper and deeper into this car as usual, I think we're just going to whip this head off because we've got sort of oil leaks everywhere. We want to see what's going on inside the engine. Obviously sad issues with no boost control. Clean it all up, get it back to scratch because it's had yet again bodge after bodge. You know, tuners mess around with it, they just want to get out the door. So probably going to just pull this head off, change cam belt, water pump, do the whole lot at the same time, get it nice and fresh. So just going to get this turbo off now and then we'll start cracking off these head bolts. Well, so the turbo's off and you can see the soot everywhere around the actual flanges. You can tell there was a major issue and this was the issue. So I think that gasket was blowing, I'm not sure, but literally sat on there like that, blowing really badly. So I'm gonna just literally strip that down, strip the turbo down because loads of bolts missing on here, just not done properly. So we're going to stud the actual exhaust housing itself like it should be done properly. Also I want to put a nipple, a bleed nipple into the compressor housing itself, which hasn't got it, so it can go to the boost control solenoid, because at the minute there's absolutely no boost control. So we're going to clean all that lot up and get this head off. Right, so with the manifold off, you can clearly see the snap studs that were here. These should be actually quite easy to get out because they've snapped with a nice bit of thread hanging out, so we should be able to get them out quite easy, but it'll be a lot easier when the actual head's off. I don't know if this one's actually damaged inside the thread or not, but we have this oil leak that's been leaking down here onto the bell housing, and I'm not sure if that is head gasket or not because there's no other oil way here for it to be leaking. I've cleaned it up with a rag and some brake cleaner to see any fresh leaks, but pretty sure this could be a head gasket problem, which is why we're going to take it off anyway. And then we can look inside the engine, clean up the pistons, do the usual thing, change the cam belt, change the water pump, freshen the engine right up, and this thing will be running sweet again. Right, so literally just this engine mount, because this idler pulley's behind here, can't get this head off until we get rid of this idler pulley because it's stuck behind the plastic cover. And then we can get this bracket off and the engine mount off, and this head is ready to come off. Right, so a lot more work actually involved getting this engine mount off. You can see I had to get all the sort of auxiliary pulleys and loads of other stuff off. Removing this alternator from the back of the bracket as well, but the head is finally ready to come off, so just cracked it off. It's pretty much moving now, so we can pull that off and have a little inspect to the bottom end. Right, so with the head off, first look at it, it's obviously filthy where the exhaust manifold gasket was blown. You see the cracked studs here that they're going to be easy to get out. We'll just weld on some nuts onto them. This one we're going to have to ground flat, use centre punch, drill that one out, probably helicoil it. That's not going to come out, well, we hope it does, but it probably won't. You can see inside the ports, stem seals are leaking. So it's a no-brainer to get this head off and do it all properly at once. It's the original head gasket. So pretty lucky we did really, because you can see here this oil ring that is on the head gasket, you can see it's split, and that's what was leaking down the gearbox. It's obviously been leaking for a long time. Pistons look really clean, bores look good. It's a low mileage engine, 60,000 miles. So it's ready to go again. So we're just going to do a head gasket kit on it. Going to clean this head up, get it aqua blasted. Going to just start stripping it down now, get the valves out of it, get this aqua blasted. So just stripped down the turbo, took it off the manifold, got the compressor housing off so we can give it a clean up, send that to blasting. Obviously you've got to drill and tap this section here for the bleed nipple for the boost control solenoid, because it's got no boost control at the minute. This elbow as well, luckily it come off the turbo nicely, but you can see here that bolt is still seized in there. So obviously we're going to do that on the bench. I didn't want to take it off when it was on the car. It was just snapped, it was going backwards and forwards. So we're going to get this damn pipe off. And yeah, that's what we're going to get on with now. Obviously we ain't got no gaskets or anything, so we can't really do much else. Right, so there's not much else we can be getting on with at the minute, because all the shops are shut and we need some gaskets, etc. I need to sort the head out, so we've got to get that head stripped down and cleaned, and then get them stem seals replaced, etc. That being the next episode. So the car's looking pretty sorry for itself at the minute, but as you know, it's going to be coming back bigger and better. If you're looking forward to that, drop a subscribe, smash that like button, and I'll see you in the next episode.